Alright, I'm Matt Jones and I'm making an immersive RPG in Godot. And this is a devlog. I haven't made a devlog in a long time and it's almost a new year, so I decided now would be a good time to make one. So, first off, everything is finally ported to Godot 4. You can see on the bottom we're running 4.2. Even though it only took about 2 weeks to get everything ported from 3 to 4, it took me a while longer because I kept getting sidetracked to work on other features because I like moving around and switching to different things. I'm going to make a more detailed video on porting everything to Godot 4. I was thinking of squeezing it in here, but I didn't have enough time. It would have taken longer because there's a lot of cool details that I haven't really seen anybody talk about while porting. So I'll do that later. But anyway, we're finally on Godot 4. Everything is ported, except the only thing left pretty much is, let's see, before I was using, oh wait, we got to do a shout out. So if you want to help support the project, go to immersiverepg.com. We've got links to all of our socials: YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, Twitter, Minds, Reddit. Go all over and share our content if you want to help promote it, and if you want to help fund it, we also have a Patreon there, so you can go fund us there if you want. But anyway, back to the subject. I was using Dialogic, which is a plugin for Godot 3 to do dialogues, and they've completely rewritten it for version 2, which will work for Godot 4. Apparently, I haven't tried it yet, so maybe I'll move to that. I'm not sure yet. There's also one called Nylon, I think I need to look into. So for now, I just have the dialogue stuff turned off until I figure out how exactly I'm going to make the branching quest system connect to that, because there's kind of overlap between the branching quest system and the dialogue system that need to make sure they work together properly. And the other system is the terrain system. Before I was using H-Terrain, which is also Godot 3 only, and that worked very well. But for Godot 4, it's not supported, but there's a new one called Takasan Games Terrain 3D, I believe, and it's for Godot 4. It looks really good. I haven't tried it much. Hopefully that will work out if I end up using this. I'm going to test that out more. But other than that, all of our stuff is pretty much working on Godot 4. So that's fantastic. What else? Oh, the async loader that loads everything asynchronous, I'm still working on that. But now it's kind of on pause because it was just very monotonous, where I would get 80% done and I'd realize that I could do things better and I'd start over and over and over and over. And so rather than spend all of my time doing that, I decided to just turn it off for now. So when you see things running in the game, it's obviously going to be stuttery and and pausing and whatnot while it loads. But I'm going to finish that later. I just want to focus on the game for now. Um, okay, what else is new in the game since I've shown it last? If you've been watching our YouTube, excuse me, uh, I've been putting out videos on our new active Ragdoll system. Like here, you can shoot NPCs with like soda cans, and they'll react and break off limbs, and they'll just flop around and whatnot. Or you can go here and watch the whole video. I don't want to get into too much detail. I've already done multiple videos on this, but that's being integrated into the game. I want to make a few changes to it to make it work a little bit better, but that's pretty much working much better with than what we had in Godot 3. Um, hmm. Let's actually run it here so we can see some of the changes. It's going to load our beautiful sunrise here and a bunch of temporary assets like mountains and whatnot. Um, there we go. It takes a second to load everything initially. Now, obviously, as I've said before, I'm not an artist, and I'm still developing the art style and looking into things and talking with artists. Um, One of the things, oh man, be quiet, train. One of the things I've been doing is like putting in temporary ones. Like this is a tree. Before it was just like a stick, but this is, I think it's a willow tree. NPCs can go here and um, get wood from the tree. You can see it wobble slightly in the wind. And this over here is an orange tree. Over time, it will drop oranges that you can eat or do whatever you want with. I switched from using I think it's a GD Quest mannequin from Godot 3, and I'm now using the Mixamo Y-Bot. And the reason I did that is because the Godot is a lot stricter and a lot better about importing GLTF files, and this one worked better with the active Ragdolls and all that. Just like the naming of the bones and whatnot is a lot more strict. And I also applied a cell shading um, material to it just to kind of experiment because I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with the art style. Um, One of the other things is there's a lot of key locations here, and this right here is our convenience store called Convenient Cat. You can see it's a big neon sign. Uh, it's purple and green. If I switch our sky shader to nighttime here, let's switch to 9 p.m. All of this is going to light up. That looks really cool. Looks pretty good for temporary assets there. And then if you go inside, it's the same. It's the same thing we had before. Just a few more lights. We switch back to daytime so we can see here. What else? Oh, there is a new status system. Here's some items. Um, let's see, we got a can of beans. We got some soda. So I'm going to eat one of these. Let's take and consume one of these sodas, and it's going to affect my status on the right there. Okay, you can see I've got caffeine, 2x AP regen speed, and 2x hand jitter. So for, oh, I forget, maybe it's 20 minutes. This will double my stats there, so I can sprint longer and whatnot. And now, obviously, the character doesn't run around like this speed. This is just for debug setting. Like I can jump really high and move faster, just to get around faster. What else is there? Landmark system. Man, these cockroaches, they keep following me. One of the things about this game is it's a big open world, so once you get far enough away from things, it will unload. And so rather than just having nothing there, I have these landmarks. Like for example, if we look over here, there's a freeway overpass with nothing on it. And if we look over here, there's a big Gothic castle. Those are both landmarks. So if you started walking over there, it would swap those out with um, the actual landmarks. Let me let's actually do that here. Let me run really fast away. I'm going about Mach 1, and let's see if we can get that to unload. I forget how many tiles it is. Each tile, there we go, it unloaded. You can see it unloaded everything, but then there's a little convenient cat sign. So obviously it's going to have more detail added to it later. And then as we get closer, it will load everything in there. And see where it stuttered? That's because I don't have the async loader on, but it reloaded everything. So that's cool. We have landmarks now, so you can tell like what's out there. It's not just a big void. And I also added a texture. Before it was just like a plain ground texture, but now it's just like sand. It's not quite the sand I want, because I was thinking maybe cell shaded, but the problem with cell shaded is it looks like nothing, especially when it's far away. If you've seen open world games, when it's far away, you can't really tell what anything is. We also have a new 3D label system. You can notice these cockroaches here. It puts this label, one of these, right now I can just display whatever I want. It says cockroach, HP, burning falls, temperature, and it points to which item. Let me actually go way over here to the military base. Let me zip over here really fast. It's going to unload all that, load everything in, and let me show you some of the things here. Like for example, these logs, like notice how they're really close together. They're bunched right here, but then the labels are spread out and pointing to them. So that works really well for pointing to things. So I can show what it is. I'm going to add this to more items so that way it points out what it is. But I don't want this to be on all the time because it doesn't make sense to have this system on where it shows all of this information. But I'm thinking of putting something like this in generally. And then when I get far away, it'll turn off. I'm going to make a video going over this and how this works too. What else? Where is one of the systems that where is that? Completely redid is the systemic system that handles. Let me go back to. Handles how different items interact with different systems in the game. For example, there is. Where is it? These two enums. We've got system over time and system once. So over time would be like fire or like heat or electricity, radiation, microwave energy. Those types of systems interact with something over time. So like if you're tasering a guy or whatever, he's going to be getting electrocuted over time and not. Whereas a system once is something that happens once, like a bullet hitting something or getting hit with a baseball bat or stabbed or blown up. So by breaking it down into these, we can make everything in the game interact with this basic system. So for example, we have a log here. Let me go back to the log. It's just a cylinder, but if we look at the nodes, we have systemic constant and systemic once, and so we just have these two signals here, and these can handle anything that is interacting with the log. So for example, when we do the once here, it's just saying, okay, well, we're getting hit by something, so let's apply impulse to ourselves, the force times the angle. So if you shoot it, it'll get knocked around. And then if we're doing constant, there's nothing for heat yet, nothing for electricity yet, radiation, nothing, but then microwave. So if I hit it with a microwave beam, it's going to increase the temperature. So that way, by using this type of system, I could, for instance, put these on a television, and if you're shooting the television with a microwave beam, it'll get like distorted. Whereas if you're shooting a log, they'll heat up and catch on fire. So it's up to the individual thing to determine how it's affected. So let me show you. Let's shoot these logs with the microwave beam. Wait, actually, let's shoot it with a bullet. So if I shoot it here. Oh. It applies the force of the bullet using the mass and speed of the bullet. So then if I unequip my rifle and equip the microwave gun, I can heat it up. So you can see the temperature rising because it's intersecting with the beam. And then once it gets to, I think it's like 375, it'll catch on fire. There we go. So now it's on fire. So now we can just make everything in the game use these two signals instead of having like 100 different signals for every possible thing. It's up to the individual thing. So that's really cool. I've updated all of the NPCs. Right now they're just kind of chilling here, these soldiers, because there's no Navmesh. I'll push B and I'll make a Navmesh. There we go. Now there's a Navmesh that they can use to move around. Notice how fast that was because they switched to multi-threaded Navmesh making. So that's fantastic. Now I've got these NPCs that can do much more complicated behavior. Um, what is this guy doing? Let me see. What are they doing over here? I still need to work on this to make it a little bit less cluttered. Um, there we go. Like this guy's going to sit down at this table. And I need to... oh, that's right. I need to update the thing because they're colliding with the table still. But yeah, whatever. They can like do things like sit at a table, and because it's an active ragdoll, it'll interpolate between the animations, and like that's why it's kind of melded like T1000. But that's cool. I'm gonna do more another video on that. What is the other thing I was gonna show you? Oh, let's go back to the world center here at the convenient cat and look at that rooster we made because I want to show you something. Oh, I gotta slow down. I'm going way too fast. Okay, let's bake the Navmesh so they can move around. So I added this giant rooster. Obviously, I'm not a modeler, so this is from somewhere else. I'm gonna put the credits in. I'll show you where the credits are after. That shows where you can get this stuff. But for example, this is right now it's an NPC. All of these things are NPCs, including the cockroaches here. So they all have like states. And the rooster, let me see here. Right now he's the most advanced NPC there is. I'm gonna make all the soldiers and whatnot work like this. So essentially how it works is there are different tasks the rooster can do. It's just an enum. It can be idle. It can kind of spin around. Yes, I forgot about that. He breathes fire, and I have him scream when he does it. Yes, come on, come on. Um, Jesus, shut up, creature. There we go. Okay, like I was saying. Oh my God. Okay, never mind. Don't look at that. He's idle, or he spins around where he just rotates, or he breathes fire, or he crows when it's dawn, or he hunts these cockroaches and eats them, or he'll just go to a random location. So essentially what I do is I break this down into steps and tasks. Steps are, let's see here, where is it? They're basic building blocks that you can use to make any task. So for example, a step could be find a bug, or find a cactus, or plan a route to a destination, or move to a planned destination, or step eat a bug, kill a bug, or burn the target. So these are like generic steps that I can just put in different orders to make a task. So for example, if I have a task, breathe fire, it has its own enum that is just the individual steps to do to get there. So for example, we'll start by setting things up. We'll find a cactus, plot a course to the cactus, then we'll actually move to the cactus, and then we'll burn the cactus with our fire breath. So by doing things like that, we can just totally make more of these subclasses, tasks to do everything. And this is just reusing those same steps over and over. So that's really cool. So then we have like the same thing here for eating bugs, where it's start, find bug, plot a path to bug, move to bug, eat bug, kill bug. same thing. And then idle, it's just sitting there. Spin, it just sits there and rotates. And so this type of thing I can like break down. And then here's one for crowing, where it just plays the sound of crowing at dawn. Um, so using breaking it up into steps and tasks really simplifies things. It makes it so I can just add another task, and they're all using the same couple of steps. And I'm going to make most of the enemies and or the NPCs do that. So that's really cool. Where did he go? Oh, there he went. What else is there? That's pretty much it for now. I've changed a few things, but so far I'm really impressed with Godot 4. It's a lot easier to use. So many improvements to GD script and the new physics engine, Jolt and all that. That's going to be default hopefully someday. Um, anyway, I will try. I'll try and make more devlogs more often because I don't like waiting very long, a long time before I can make a devlog. Anyway, if you want to support the project, again, you can go to immersiverpg.com. We've got links to all of our socials, and we've got a Patreon where you can help support the project. All right, guys, I will see you later.